Hey guys, Thomas Sulu Jr. here, aka Mustached. I'm here to review the movie Spark, A Space Tale. Now, when I first saw the trailer to this movie, I wasn't really going, oh, I should definitely go see this. But I decided to go see it anyway, but with lowered expectations, so keep that in mind during this review. So the movie starts out with some narration, and we learn that Spark is this monkey who lives in this location called Bana, and you can expect other pens like that, by the way. And this evil monkey at the bottom you see there, Zong, gets a space kraken and essentially destroys that planet, taking over. The narration is the main character as this robot character sort of falls asleep. So that is how the movie begins. Now, one thing I noted was that one of the characters, who was this fox named Vix, kind of eerily looked like the character from one of the characters from Rock Dog. So I was wondering if this was made by the same group of people, or maybe one of the animators were the same and then they just carried over one of the designs. At any rate, there's also this pig named Chunk, and he's a super smart inventor, and Vix is a sort of martial artist, I guess. And they're both space frontiers, and they go out on missions, and eventually Spark wants to go on a mission, but Vix says he isn't quite ready. So they try to train him, and they still say he isn't ready. And at some point we look at the king and what he's doing, and him being super evil, and we see his henchman, Coco, this bigger gorilla-like henchman, just essentially killing the sculptor guy. I was kind of shocked that they just, tossed him in, and then he, evaporates into nothingness. So, for a movie that I thought was for a younger audience, yeah, there's death, so, alright. Um, so Spark wastes some time while Chunk and Vix leave. He's throwing darts and stuff. And then he eventually comes across this computer screen that has this red glow on it. And he decides that he's going to be the one to go. So he goes up into space. He goes to the capital, or whatever it was, the part of Bana that the main villain took over. And from there, he sets out to try to find a way to get in. He sneaks in, he gets caught, and after some plans are revealed, he tries to snag away this kraken, the space kraken that they've been talking about. He has this little egg thing with him, so he ends up in space at some point, goes out there, eventually finds it, brings it back. However, his hometown of this graveyard, or this not graveyard, but it's like a trash heap, I guess I'll call it. And eventually he's like, oh no. And then it gets to that point where the heroes of the movie get to that depressed state. Pretty cliche thing going on there. And at one point, Spark gets some key words from his father beyond the grave somehow, telling him that his friends are in trouble. Somehow he knew that. I don't know how, but whatever. There's also this other captain that they meet into in this vortex they were sent into. So they save, or he saves Chunk and Vix, and he has Chunk essentially build a reverse engineered black hole thing, and they make their way back. And Spark eventually finds out that he is a prince, and I would have said that that was a spoiler, but I believe they said that in the trailer, so that's fine, I guess. At any rate, Spark and crew, along with the captain and all of his monkey followers, follow him back to attack Zong and his big ship, and it's a big ship battle in space. There's laser beams going back and forth. eventually Spark and Vix end up back on the ship. Vix fights Coco, and Spark tries to stop Zong. He's captured, but he has that that bow staff with the two laser-like spear things at the end. I wouldn't know what to call this type of weapon. I'll admit it's a quite unique weapon, uh, because of the whole laser aspect of it. But at any rate, he eventually figures out that he can control it and bring it back to him, sort of like using the Force, because he has this hand thing that's like, that signifies that he's not only a prince, but can apparently call the staff blade to him. And from there, he fights his way back out, powering down their ship, and eventually the crew of the other ship is able to power back their ship back on and fight back with these bugs that they have acquired. And thus, they eventually get Zong defeated, and they eventually send him back into the black hole as soon as it dissipates. So we cut to Spark in official prince clothes, and he gets to rule over Banna in a happily ever after ending. So that was Spark, ASpaceTale. And if you don't mind puns, and I mean a lot of them, there's some good action here. The villain's over the top, but I think that's par for the course for what type of movie this is. And yeah, there are a few contrivances, like how the father just appears and then warns them about the friends being in danger. But other than that, I think this movie wasn't that bad. I mean, I wouldn't say it was great, but I would say it was okay. And if you want to say an okay movie, and you may have someone younger, I think, I'll mention that I feel like this is still intended for a younger audience. Yeah, I'd say check it out. It's not that bad. I would give it a 6 out of 10. And I believe the contrivances hold it back a little bit, but other than that, pretty good. So that is my review of Spark, ASpaceTale. So if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. But until next time, everyone, bye!